Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Trackside Talks. You might have missed me. I'm sure you wouldn't have missed these two fellas because you've been hearing their voice all the time. I'm back, and this week we have something super exciting. But before we get into that, Firoz, have you been wondering what I've been doing?
Yes, I wanted to ask you. What have you been doing the past few episodes?
I know. I'm very
That's
sorry
like past few months, man, like 6 months ago.
Bro, calm down.
Oh, yes,
down.
sorry.
It was like 6 days ago. I've been playing tennis, enjoying myself, keeping fit. A bit off tangent to track lah. But
Yeah, I heard your tennis partner is also here.
that's a bit tragic lah. What happened that day?
No, wait. That one's on Courtside Talks.
Courtside, yes, there'll be another podcast that we will do. But I'm just keeping fit, keeping healthy, enjoying myself, and keeping track of what you guys were doing in meta time trials lah. So that was quite an interesting journey.
I wonder where Feroz go. Huh?
Yeah, I also wonder where Firoz went, and you can tell us more later towards the end of the episode how your experience was. It's always that yearly we come back to this event lah. But other than that, today we have something even more interesting. Melvin has been completely replaced. We have a new podcast host. Can you tell us more about yourself, sir?
I already said it.
I wasn't there. I wouldn't know. Just for the viewers. For
For him.
for me. Who are you,
For
by
you,
the way?
I'm your tennis partner.
The one that we lost. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm Thiruben, and I just joined like Trackside Talks for this season. So it's more of like bringing stories from our SEA Games athletes who are preparing themselves for the SEA Games.
Perfect.
So it's more of bringing their personal stories and for them to share as well to the wider community.
Absolutely. So what Jiva said is exactly right. We are doing a series where we are looking at athletes who are performing or going to be performing at the SEA Games and looking at their journey and how they got from wherever they were to wherever they're going to be. And today we have two very, very interesting guests. Firoz, who are these two guests, Firoz?
Me?
Yeah. Not you, not you. You're our coach, but who are these two interesting guests, Firoz?
These two guests are actually distinguished middle distance runner, but one of them is like between sprinting and this middle distance.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
asking what's up with him. Why is he choosing sprints and middle distance? Pick one.
Better find out later.
It's a master of all trades, not jack of all trades.
Master of all trades. And then
So
the other guy
he's now owning the 800 meter.
okay.
And for 400, I think he's going to take his time.
All right. And 800, I heard 800 is no longer considered middle distance. It's like a sprint now, right? Because it's like 400 meter times 2.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
So that's what I've been
all
hearing.
out times 2.
Again?
My all out times 2.
My all out times 2 as well.
His first lap or lose out.
I think all of us here will lose out also.
And the other guy?
And the other guy has been a pure...
He's coming up close to your timing, sir.
My timing?
Yeah,
What?
for
Oh,
1500 meters.
Bro, mine is passé, bro.
Hey.
10 years already. We have people growing up becoming adults already. So,
right.
But yes, the other guy has been running 1,500 meters very frequently and very
And
well.
sub 4 as well.
And sub 4 as well, which we will hear more from the two.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and invite the two amazing and remarkable guests, Thiruben and Oliver. Let's go! If you guys don't know what Thiruben and Ollie have done, you can Google them, but just to give you a quick TLDR, Thiruben sitting on my extreme right over there, he's an 800 meter national champion for 2025. He's a SEA Games, he took part in SEA Games in 2017, 2022, 2023, and he's also a silver medalist for the 4x400 meters. So yeah, we can ask him some questions about why he's getting medals for 4x400 meter and when is he going to get a medal for the 800 meters. Maybe it's going to be this year, we never know. And of course, on my closer right, we have Ollie, also known as Oliver Lim, a 1,500 meter national champion. And he's journeying really hard with education and with track as well. So maybe I'll let them tell us more about themselves. Thiruben, maybe you first, sir.
Yeah, so doing 800 meters. Been running for about 10 years now. So I started when I was in secondary 2. And before that was always football. I was just like any other Singaporean boy growing up. I wanted to be a national team player and all that, but those dreams kind of changed along the way. Found track and field. Really love track and field since then. And started off actually doing longer distances as cross country. Went down to the 800, kind of lost my way, went to the 400, medal with that for a couple of years, and now I'm back doing the event I probably like the most. Yeah.
You like the most of
Yeah, I
both.
do. I know.
But the lactic is not enough.
I need times 2 of it, so I went for the 8.
But you have been dwelling in the 400 for a long while.
Yeah.
And 800 was just recent.
And
So
if I recall, I think you were in NJC
yeah.
doing cross country and then 400.
Yeah. So I started off in secondary 2. I started off doing 3,000 and 1,005 actually. And then was doing relatively well in it. I think what really inspired me my first year in the sport was taking part in that Wala meet. So I think now it's called Lawa. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the national athletes find that as like the starting point of their careers.
Okay.
So when I managed to win gold for the 1500 there, that was like, oh my god, actually I can do something with this sport. I'm really that really got me invested in it. The next 2 years went down to the 8 and 1500, did pretty well also. But when I was in my JC 1 year, so there was this meet, I think they used to call it series back then.
Yes.
And then my coach already put me in the 8 and 1500 that weekend. But at the end of running both those races, he told me to run the 400 as well. And I
He
surprised
wasn't happy with your 8,000.
Yeah, he was like,
Punish you with the 400.
so I did the 3 probably the most lactic-inducing events over one weekend. But I managed to finish off the weekend with a 450.1.
Wow.
So that was surprising. He was like, okay, how do you do that?
And the coach was
Yeah. And then, so he was like, okay, the next competition in 2 weeks' time, let's do 400. I did 49 in the heats and 48.7 in the final.
And that was at
That was
what
at
age?
70 before turning JC1.
And that was based more on the 800 and 1500 training.
So then that got me to the World Under 18 champs that year. So I think that's how I kind of went to the 400 accidentally.
Okay.
And that was when I was 17. And then fast forward all the way to last year when I'm 24, I decided to go back to the 800 meters.
Why?
Because I've always felt like that was the event that
You wanted?
I have the most potential in, that I haven't really fully realized. I also think that, within the Southeast Asian scene, I think is probably where I have the most advantages in terms of like combining my speed as well as my endurance. Like back, since I used to do cross country, I think it gives me a very unique position.
That was your move, or was it your coach's move?
It was something I wanted to do for a while. Actually, was trying to go back to it earlier, but injuries here and there. So I think I made a shift in terms of coaching team. So me and Ollie train with Oldham Athletics. So coached by Coach Kai and Coach Hamka. So I think making the switch at the same time also meant a switch in events. And it's just been working out really well. Yeah.
Okay. And we'll come back more into that whole journey. Ollie,
Sure.
tell us more about yourself, brother.
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, I'm Oliver. So right now I'm actually in my final year of medical school. So it's a bit of juggling of both like training and studies. Maybe just a bit of background about what. So right now my main events are more like 800 and 1,005, but I think more specifically 1,005. So yeah, I guess my journey in track is quite interesting. Actually, I started when I was like P4 or P5. The reason was because I had a friend at the point in time. Actually, no, now we're still really good friends. Joshua Lim. So he was a runner at the point in time. I think everybody in our year knew him as the fast guy. So I remember I would go for like catching and everything, or like play during recess, and then there's like virus and everything. And I always found it very fun. Now, for some reason, like running made a lot of sense to me. So I think I joined the track and field team. I think in P4 going to P5. And actually I did quite well in primary school and into like P6. Then when I went into secondary school, I found that I was I didn't hit puberty or something, so I didn't really grow. So I was much worse than everyone else, and I was much shorter as well.
So it's a bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, it was quite a disadvantage. Yeah. So actually, I mean, when I first started in P5, I actually was more of a sprinter. So my events were at the point in time it was 200 and 300. So in primary school it's 300, it's not 400.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I think similarly there's no 800, there's only 600.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's a thing for primary school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did the 2 and 3. I actually won a 300 in P5. So that was kind of how I started.
Right.
And then I came into Sec 1 and I wanted to do 200, 400, but then my 200 was way too slow. Within my team, I was nowhere close to the top. So then I think somewhere in Sec 2, I decided to just try the 800 in a school meet. Yeah, and at that point in time, I think 800 is like dominated by the cross country guys.
Right.
And then somehow I won the race. Yeah, so as a result, I think the coach, one of the coaches told me, hey, why don't you just try for nationals? So nationals, then I went for nationals for 800, and I actually managed to get second. So I think that's how 800 actually became my main event for a long period of time. So from Sec 2 up until like very recently, my main events were actually 400, 800. Yeah, then I went to NS, came out, went to uni, and then eventually I just continued doing 400, 800. And then only last year actually I transitioned to 1,005.
Damn,
Yeah, so
why?
my
People transition out of 1,005, bro. You transition in, okay. But he and Thiruben got very nice stories.
It's quite interesting. So I mean, I found a breakthrough in terms of my track career last year specifically in 800. So I mean, I was quite lucky that I think there were a few changes in my life, and also under the different coaching and everything. So I think I managed to sub 2 last year in 800. So I think that it kind of improved from there. And then at one point, within the transition between the 25 and 26 season, my coach Kai, actually told me, why don't you just try to do the 1005, because I was kind of a weird sprinter, because I'm a sprinter, but I like to do long runs. And I kind of like doing like all the aerobic stuff. And I think also in the school meets, like the cross country meets, I'll normally do quite well.
Right.
So he was like, okay, maybe you just try this out, see how it goes.
Right.
So then actually my first time running 1005 was only like last year, less than a year ago actually.
Right.
It was at
Time trial first. We had a time trial first.
Internal time trial.
Okay.
At 1 p.m. I think. It was like 1 p.m.
So hard.
Perfect. Singapore's best weather.
Weather.
And I think it went like not bad.
Okay.
And then after that, he said, okay, let's just try the interclub. And I didn't even sign up myself. Actually, he signed up for me.
So Kai was the
Yeah.
one.
Coach Kai actually was the one that
encouraging.
signed me up for it. I didn't actually want to do it, but I mean, he just signed me up.
Just forced you.
Now I must thank him already.
So we did a bit of training leading up to it, and then I'm quite grateful I managed to win the race in the club. So I think that's when we decided, okay, let's maybe try to focus our attention on the 1005, because I think the 800 also is a little bit crowded right now. Yeah. So then he was like, let's just try that out, and I think it's been going well since then. Yeah.
Wow. That's a very interesting way to approach 1005 and 800. I mean, of course, for Thiruben, you started with it, then you ran out of it, and then you're like, you know what, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Yourself, you were in it, and then you found a spark, and then you're like, let's commit full-time to it. So, and I see you guys are wearing some really nice attire.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this is one of the attires you'll be wearing for the SEA Games this year, right? Am I right to say
I
that?
think it's like the travel
travel
polo,
attire.
travel polo, yeah.
All right. So which means you guys are on route. You guys got a ticket to the SEA Games. Is there any other qualifications that needs to happen, or you guys set to go to SEA Games already?
It's set for now. I think the final list came out at the start of September.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'll be doing the 800 and 4x4, and Oli will be doing the 15.
Perfect. All right. And he mentioned that he's studying. He's in med school.
Yeah.
How about yourself, sir? You didn't.
So I actually did my university studies in Melbourne, where Jiva was also NMV. Met up quite a few times there.
Okay.
I
So-
had a brunch with them as well
Yeah,
last
yeah.
year.
Yeah, so I went to university in Melbourne. Actually, the reason for that also was because I wanted to see how the running scene was over there, see whether that could take me to the next level. It just coincided with COVID. So in the end, I think I only spent about 6 to 8 months in Melbourne in total for my whole degree, which took 2.5 years to complete.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but because of that, also I managed to truncate it, save a bit of my parents' money. Got my degree done really quickly, so I ended in 2023, before turning 23, and I've been working in Singapore Athletics since then. So I've been working for almost 3 years now.
Doing marketing.
So I handle marketing and sponsorships for Singapore Athletics. Yeah.
All right.
So working, yeah.
To athletes out there, looking out for Thiru if you want sponsorship.
So Viros, carry on, man. You look like you have a lot of questions in your mind
Oh yes,
for these
super.
boys. Yes.
So well, too many questions. I don't even know where to start. But let's start about the prep to SEA Games, right? How's the prep coming along?
How's the prep coming along?
Yeah.
I think for me it's quite a unique position because so right now I'm training about, I would say, about 8 to 10 times a week.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's
Wait,
doubles on-
pause. Maybe the next question to come in later part. How you juggle all that? Okay, come carry on. 8 to 10.
8 to 10 times a week, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember a week got like 7 days, right? Okay, unless y'all are leaving another world. But sure. Carry on.
Yeah, so I mean, it's triples on 2 days. Doubles on 3 days. Triples on 2 days. Doubles on 3 days.
Ravin
and
doing
then,
Crave Max.
and once every other day. Yeah, but I think for me it's I think it's a matter of like juggling my studies and my training because actually I'm in my final year of medical school. So my final year exams are quite soon, in like less than 50 days. So I've been just having to kind of move from the hospital back to the track and back and forth. I think it's been quite an experience trying to juggle everything, but I'm quite grateful to have a good team around me. And also I think Coach Kai is my primary coach right now, and he's very, very willing to kind of adjust training according to how I feel or whether or not my schedule kind of allows for it.
That's nice
So that's kind of how it's been for now.
for your preparation. And
Yeah.
Thiruben, yourself?
I mean, I think kudos to Oli because he really finds every kind of pocket of time to fit in studies and running. I remember there was one cool down jog where you were listening to like a lecture while we were cooling down. So yeah, it's crazy. So for me, I think on my plate right now is of course my job, which is actually very flexible. So I don't really have to be based in my office. You know, I'm there most of the time anyways because it's at stadium. That's where I train. But it's flexible. So yeah, I train twice a day, pretty much every day except for Sundays and Saturdays. Yeah, sometimes Wednesdays no also. So that's, what's that? It's like 11, maybe 11, 12 times, 11 times a week, I would say. I think because the 800 meter really, you kind of need to do everything in your training schedule. You've got speed work, you've got the gym fair amount, long runs. There's really a lot to do. So I think it's quite hard to, even if you really want to be at a certain level, I think double sessions are quite essential.
Yeah.
So I think that's the kind of the frequency that I've been training with for a good year now, I would say.
Quick question so that our viewers understand. When you guys said like 8 to 10 times and you said 11 times, mileage in a week, if you would just sum it all up for us, what was your mileage, Oli?
Sure. So
For a 1,500 meter athlete.
Okay, yeah. I think it depends on the phase that we're in. I think
Correct.
for right now we are going more to the competition phase kind of thing.
Right.
So the mileage has dropped a little bit.
Okay.
I'm at about, I would say about 70 km a week right now.
Okay, so maybe I'll rephrase my question. At your loading phase or your before you start tapering for competition, what was your mileage? Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the pre-season kind of
sure.
going into like the base phase.
Yeah,
Right?
the
Yeah,
base
I
phase,
think it's about, I was going about 100 to 110.
100 to 110 kilometers for a 1,500 meter athlete. And how about you, sir?
Much less. So actually, I think also because I was coming up from the 400, I would say this is my third training cycle. So each training cycle is about 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's the third training cycle in the 800 meters. And
Right.
each one I kind of has been increasing my mileage because it needed to be like a gradual reintroduction to running
Right.
longer. So for this current training cycle leading towards SEA Games, during my general phase was about 65 km per week, which is far, far, far less than what people do in
Oh,
Europe
okay.
or America. But this is the most I've done in my life. And it's not like, I would say not every week was 65. It was around maybe 55 to 60.
Yeah, it averaged out. Okay.
Averaged out. There was a big change compared to my previous training cycle leading up to Asian Championships, which was in May.
Yeah.
So I think this change is really making a huge impact in my fitness and my form going into SEA Games.
Yeah.
And there's still so much more room to improve because I really haven't tapped into the
Mileage.
aerobic part of my 800 yet as much as I could.
Wait. You
So-
haven't tapped into the aerobic part.
Yeah, I think it has to be, it's very
Wow.
underdeveloped, I would say.
So means
He hasn't tapped. Wait, okay, it's not my question. What are your PBs?
So finally went sub 150, the last race in the Asian Championships.
You must understand that our audience might not know what 150 could mean. 1 hour,
That's
15
true.
minutes. So
That's
you
true.
gotta give us the details.
Yeah, so
Except
one
for
minute.
800.
Yeah, so my PB now is 1 minute 49 seconds, 0.94 to be specific. And that was in the Asian Championships in the heats
And a new national record.
as a new national record.
And remember, this is just 2 laps around the track, 800 meters. He ran it in 1:49.
49. So it was a big milestone. The aim was to go below 150 at that meet. And then to just go under it. I think it makes every track athlete knows what I'm saying, right? When it's just a few milliseconds, but seeing that decimal change from a 5 to 4 was a big boost. It was
brings me back to my memory of the sub 2.
sub.
Our memory was up too, bro. Ooh, 1:59, the commentator said. You're like, wow!
Exactly, I mean, because I was
Graduated
trying to
already.
break 2 for a
Yeah.
You
long
suffered.
while. Yeah, I did.
I haven't
so
yet.
so at that moment, right?
Too flat.
At the moment when I was with Subhash,
Yeah.
at that point of time, so he brought me in. First time was 60. Then in my head I was thinking, oh man, not gonna happen.
Good game.
So after the race, I was just hanging around, chatting with my coach. And then they said in third position, Muhammad Shafir from NTU, with timing of 1, and I started to jump. I just need to hear that 1.
1 hour! Because you never stopped the clock.
It was 159.88, and it stays then.
And Ravin for me is like
Yeah.
2 flat 800,
Yeah, I know.
4 flat 1500.
I think
So
in
sad.
the journey to hitting sub 2, and for your case, is that sub
Sub
150,
150, yeah.
you would have come so close to that mark countless of times. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe you have, like 150s and 141s and stuff.
Actually, that sub 2 barrier, I think when I was trying to break it in my schoolboy moments, I think there was one when I was Sec 4, I ran like 6 to 7 2 flats.
Yeah.
That was,
That's what
I
in
remember
a
that.
year. You know how frustrating can that be?
Yeah,
right?
so the next year when I finally sub 2 was, wow, it was amazing actually. Moment.
But I think before we come into your piece, the thing that we as athletes can understand is the moment you break it, then it's like history.
next goal.
It's like you never ever think about that 2 flat anymore, and you're just starting to break that 159, 158, 157, and I think that is just a psychological.
I think it happens to Oli. Oli, you were trying to break 2, right?
Yeah. So I think interestingly for me,
Yeah.
So just a bit of background. I think so 800 was my main event originally. I hit 2:01 in 2 minutes and 1 second in year 6. So I was 18 at the point in time. Then I came back to track after NS and like a bit of training as well. So I mean, I started training again when I was 21, right? And I think when I was 21 going to 22, I hit a 201 again. And then since then, I never managed to get better than that. I just kept hitting 201, 204, 205. In fact, there was a period, I remember very clearly, every season I would start out with a 207. And I just cannot get faster than that for some reason. I think mentally I just wasn't really there in all these races, yeah. But then, I mean, I was quite, when I mentioned about the breakthrough last year, actually what happened was I just went for this race and it was like a all-comers or something. And I was like, I mean, this doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just going to run for fun. Yeah. And then I remember basically running. Then I remember when I was about to cross, actually it's a very interesting story, but I mean, to cut it short, I remember I crossed the 400 at about 58, I think, right? I crossed at 58, then Coach Kai was standing at the 300 mark. Then he shouted out 113. So that's exactly, so I mean, to count it is 15 seconds per 100, right?
Correct. Yes.
So at a 500 mark, in order to be sub 2, you need to be at 115. So I was at 113. Then I hit the 600 mark, and one of our teammates, Ryan Prahash, she was actually standing there. And he said, 128. And I was like, oh my gosh,
3 seconds.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. So then I was like, I've done like 30 seconds in training how many times, right? Then I reached the last 700. I think Coach Jackie was there. Okay. He shouted, 142, you gotta go now.
Oh.
So I ran. And luckily at the point in time, there was a clock.
Yeah.
And the clock, I passed it. I saw 159. And I was like, it's crazy.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was really like a out of body experience for me. That was the first time I finished a race. I wasn't tired. I remember screaming and everything. And then from that point on, for some reason, I just managed to. I just figured it out. So 2 weeks after that, I ran a 158 low, almost 157. And then I think a month after that, I went for Singapore and I ran 157. And since then, I managed to cut it down. Right now, I'm at a 154.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've also noticed like in the past 2 years or maybe the past 2 years, like our middle distance scene has been improving quite a lot. I mean, there's a lot of breakthroughs in the sub 2 and also like recently sub 4 as well. But in the 800, it's like, you are very close to that. Getting closer to that 150 mark.
Right.
So maybe I'd like to ask like what shift maybe in the mindset or what do you notice? And also like in terms of your own training group, how does the coaches prepare you to achieve these goals?
Yeah, I really think this younger generation coming up, they're going to be so much better than whatever marks we set. It's just going to be superseded, and I think that's how it should be. Like the national record stood for so long, but I really don't think it should have stood for that long. And I don't think mine will ever stand for that long also, because I think
because you're gonna break it.
It's okay.
That's true. But when I'm done breaking it, I think the next guy is just gonna come. I mean, there's Jaden, Aswin, so many like up and coming talents coming up, and I think of course it helps when you have people setting the pace in front of you. Back when I was in JC1, I was training with there was a bunch of people around 2 flat or sub 2. But right now, I think, I don't know what the stats are exactly, but I think like our Sing Open final.
6 of you, right?
I don't know, there's like a lot of people. I think maybe 7, 8, 9 people running sub 2 now. Yeah, which that usually will make you like the fastest in Singapore.
Yeah.
So I think it's just great to see. And I think really track and field is a sport where if you have someone
leading the
way in training and in competition, it makes that boundary seem less impossible to surpass. And yeah, our training group is very strong. Right now we have our 800 group, 800, 1500 group is like me, Ollie, Zubin, Aswin, who is only 19, but actually if he's waiting for citizenship, but if he had got his citizenship, he would have broken the under 20 record.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So yeah, it's a very strong group. And I think
He's currently now at 152.
152. Yeah. So every time I finish a race, and I do well, I turn around and he's like right behind me. I'm like, this guy he's coming for me.
Really
Yeah, and also like in terms of like your coaches, Hamka and Kai, how do they like provide an environment for you to like train and then improve your timing, but at the same time like balance with your studies and also your work as well? So maybe just share with us like more of your group dynamics and
So I think we have 2 coaches, Coach Hamka and Coach Kai. And Coach Hamka, he's like a track and field legend in Singapore. Right? He's won medals in SEA Games. He always has really good advice for us. He's really good at kind of giving us the right mindset. And Coach Kai has, he's a sprinter. He did the 100 and the 4x1. But the fact that he's now coaching so many good middle distance athletes in Singapore is a testament to his ability to research, the ability to kind of
educate himself.
And also know what works best for us. Because we're not really following what's other people are doing. We are kind of he's looking at us as individual athletes and like catering everything just to our strengths and our weaknesses. So I think it's been tremendous since then.
And also like I noticed you all have been traveling as well for competition and training camps. Do those exposure also help you to develop? Or?
Yeah.
Sure. I think for me, I can't speak that much. I mean, I haven't traveled that much as compared to some of them. But I would say definitely it's been quite a game changer in terms of like learning and developing the skills. I think for me, I never really had a chance to go overseas to compete before. Maybe once in year 6 for like ASEAN school games. That was the one time I went overseas. And after that, I never went overseas again. Only last year was my first time actually going for kind of like a training camp of any sorts. So I went to Japan with the group. We went to Waseda University. I think that was a very good experience. And I think after that also I had a chance to go overseas for some of the competitions. I think also just learning about the different way in which they kind of run these events actually it's quite unique, I guess. I mean, very specifically, I remember when I went to Australia with Thiru and Coach Kai last year. That was when I did my the 1,000 fight. That was quite fast.
The boxing, is it?
The boxing one, yeah. I think I really learned how the way that they manage the event is much more casual. There's a lot more of this is what we do.
Right.
This is just it's kind of just like having fun while doing what you love kind of thing.
Right.
As compared to, I think Singapore tends to get a little bit maybe a bit competitive sometimes, or just the scene is just not as I guess relaxed in terms of the way they run the program sometimes. So I think for me, I benefited quite a lot from these overseas races where I think I managed to let my guard down a little bit. Just go into it knowing that, I mean, I like running, right? I mean, running is just a thing I do. I mean, this is just a chance for me to run. It's not so much about beating someone else or anything. And especially when you go overseas, I think you don't know anybody there.
Yeah.
There's less pressure about, okay, I need to beat this guy.
Correct.
This guy's faster than me. Mentally, I'm like, I can't beat this guy because he's faster than me.
Right.
But if I don't know anybody there, I just generally know there's some timings that are quite fast. I just hook onto them and then see how long I can go. And that's exactly how I did well in the 1,005 that time. And since then, I think my overseas races have kind of been that kind of mindset. And as a result, I think I've had a good experience racing as well as getting good timings as well.
And just one last question, like in terms of all this preparation, right? So like now you have, I mean, like while heading to SEA Games, and then like SEA Games is one of our major games representing Singapore. Or does all this experience help you to develop like kind of that mindset that you want to go SEA Games and do something like hit your goals or do something for yourself?
Yeah, so I think I've been quite lucky in my career so far. I've had quite a lot of experiences competing in like major games. So apart from SEA Games, I've went to the Asian and Commonwealth Games. So I think these have really built me up as an athlete because I've kind of experienced running in front of a huge crowd. You know, really, I think Asian Games was like 80,000 people in the stands. And I think all this, because the aspect that we work on in training is the physical aspect, but the mental aspect of game day and how you're going to handle the nerves in call room, I think that's trainable. And I think I've had quite a lot of, I'm really super lucky to have all these chances to train that aspect of my competing. So now heading into SEA Games, I'm kind of a bit more seasoned and I know what to expect. I know that how I'm going to feel on race day, how I'm going to feel the day before. So I think it's definitely helped. I think as an athlete, the more you compete in these overseas meets, it's going to just help you perform when it matters.
And Ollie, it's your first?
Yes, so this is my first time qualifying for the SEA Games. So it's quite a cool experience.
The celebration itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm quite grateful for the opportunity. That's why I can't really compare against, I guess, past experiences.
Right.
But I would say that I guess going overseas for these competitions and I guess immersing myself in these different competitions actually allows me to, I guess, be used to unfamiliarity. I think that's something, I think for me, my races were always at Choa Chu Kang or KPT or whatever it is, right? Or Yio Chu Kang even nowadays. But I think going overseas, sometimes the only on the day itself of the meet is when you first get to the track. And I think, I mean, I guess having these experiences of just going overseas and going to places you've never been to before, maybe I guess make me a bit more comfortable with in the future if I mean going to SEA Games itself. Racing in a place I'm not that used to I won't be as scared. I know it's just a 400-meter track. It's the same distance as I've run everywhere. Yeah. So it's just a matter of executing the same way I've always done in training all this while.
Right. And I'm pretty sure like your coaches, your teammates, and the staff of Team Singapore will guide you through.
Yeah.
Ravin.
And wait, before we try to arrow something to me. No. I want to ask if arrow.
I want to ask.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's not arrow.
Looking at both your face, very scary.
We asked this question to Xingling and Sonny Wakdos.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's the same question posed out to you, two guys, right?
Can I get the answer also? No.
Can.
We disturb you later.
So now, not your first time, your fourth going into SEA Games and you're really gone for bigger games. Ollie maybe will apply to you more lah. Like now, you're going up against the bigger guns like around Southeast Asia. It's your first, somehow your first major in a way lah. So how are you gonna go in with what kind of mindset? Like, if I put it simply across to most of the young ones out there, right? When they go in, they will feel.
Is it just for experience?
No, not experience. They will feel nervous. They say, then for them to perform to their best, right? It's gonna be tough. Because once you start feeling nervous, you let it get the better of you, right? Then that's it. Yeah. So, how's your approach towards that? And maybe Thiru also can share.
Sure.
And Ravin can give some.
Okay.
That's all that I
the
ask.
best.
Yeah. I guess my experience with track so far, right, has been, I think, quite unique. I don't think I really go into races with the primary goal of like winning. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I really like to think about it more of like improving myself.
Okay.
Of like trying to get a faster time. So actually, when I go into races, normally my main goal is actually to get a good time. So the question is like, how do I do that in the process of racing? I kind of know that generally speaking, at least for these games specifically, I don't think that my timing is necessarily the best. I don't think I would really be at the front if they run it properly. So I know that I think that the weight is kind of lifted in some way. I know that all I need to do is just do my best and try to get a faster time than what I've already done before. And in a sense, I'm just racing myself. So I think that's the way I kind of position my mind and everything about it. The way that I've been approaching it is just really being appreciative of the opportunity. I think that when I was growing up, I never even imagined I would be in this position. So really more so about immersing myself in the experience and just enjoying the process, and hopefully in the process of doing that, improving my timings. I think that in itself is a success to me lah. I don't think a medal or anything would really be. If I get a medal and I don't improve my time, I wouldn't be as happy as I think if I came in last, but I broke my PB by like 5 seconds. So I think that's been the kind of way that I found joy in the sport again. Less about comparing with other people and comparing myself in the past, and finding joy in the things that I used to kind of find difficulty finding joy in, I guess. So I remember racing used to be a very like painful and stressful time for me. Now I find it more of like it's just a time for me to run free, right? Yeah, and I think that way has allowed me to feel much less burdened and stressed by these things. Yeah, so I think for me that's kind of the aim going in.
That's very nice to hear.
Very beautiful actually.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Thiruben? I'm gonna go guns blazing. I'm gonna keep you up.
All SHOKZ on.
Sunglasses on.
SHOKZ.
Boom, speed suit. Okay.
I'm not aware. I'm thinking about it. We do have a speed suit now.
Oh, you do?
New Balance uses speed suit, but
Okay.
I'm still sticking to my singlet and shorts. It's the old school.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Yeah. So running the short shorts is the way. I think Ollie agrees with me also.
Yeah,
I wear
definitely.
shorts as well. I don't wear tights.
It's the way to go.
Yeah.
Gone are the days where we all tights again.
Adidas tights. Huh? But yeah, sorry. Come on, tell us how are you gonna step into this?
Yeah.
SEA
So
Games?
I think this SEA Games is very different from how I've been approaching the past few. So yeah, I've been to quite major games where like Commonwealth Games, when I was 22, and I remember it's competing against like people from UK, from Jamaica, Botswana, and I remember there was like a sharing session after Commonwealth Games where the athletes were just sharing with the rest of us. Like we were just sharing between ourselves our takeaways from Commonwealth Games. And I remember the thing that I said, and it still stuck to me, is that I kind of don't want to just be there to fill up the numbers anymore, because that's what it was back then when I went to Commonwealth Games. It was not close to making it out of the heats. So I told myself, I've had a first-hand experience of like competing at such a high level, and I want to feel like I fit in here. I want to feel like I belong in this level of competition. So that since then, I've kind of had a mindset shift, and I've been working towards it. And so I think now finally this year is where I'm going into SEA Games and not really thinking about just about personal best, but actually I want to win. So going in as a competitor, which is a very new thing for me also. There's an element to it where I'm also, especially the 800 meters. Maybe for the sprints, you can say you can't really control what the others are doing. You just run your best in your own lane
So in terms
see
of
what happens.
tactics,
But for the 800, the 1500, you kind of have to suss out your opponents. You kind of have to like preemptively think about how the race is going to go, how you're going to fit in the pack. So it's a different approach for me, and I think it's probably the most excited I've been.
This is very
going to.
interesting. So are you going to plan for another PB, or
Is it
are
gonna
you
be
going to just go for the medal?
placement kind of race?
For SEA Games, I think
Feelings,
would be
placement.
placement.
Yeah.
I would have races leading up to that to try and chase my PB, but I think SEA Games, I mean, I can't really control the conditions of that day also.
Right.
Right. So when it's a race for a medal, I think it's just going to go down to who has the best tactics on the day. And I think something that Coach Shamka shared with me quite recently, he said, when you're on the line, forget what timings they have run in the past, forget their SBs, their PBs. We're all just going at it. So that's the mindset I'm going to go in with.
Nice.
Anything can happen. I mean, historically, this year is going to be probably the strongest 800 meter field ever. Usually, if you're a sub 150, you got a good chance at the gold medal or you can podium. But right now, I ran 149. I'm only fifth. In Southeast Asia, there's two guys running 147. So I know what I have to get to by SEA Games.
Okay.
I'm working towards that and to give myself the best shot possible to win. So yeah, going into it this time differently with like I'm here to compete and win mindset is new for me. But this is what I've been training for the last 2-3 years. What I've been wanting since that Commonwealth Games. I'm going into a major games and not just there to make up the numbers. I want to be the main competitor.
The main boss lah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
This brings me back memories for
Very
2015.
scared of your memories, but what
I
memories?
remember.
Yeah.
I remember. I think before your race, we were in me, Feroz, you and Melvin. Is it?
Colin or maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. But we were discussing what are your tactics for the
Bro, I
1500
never once discussed. I was
race.
discussing like what to celebrate, like when the camera comes to us, bro.
No, we did talk about tactics.
All right.
And we were wondering whether it'd be a tactical race or all-out race.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it was an all-out race. So you ran your hearts out.
Yeah,
and
we
ran
all had
the-
to run our hearts out. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no tactics involved. But then the year after that, the
Yeah, it
seconds
was
after that, it
super
was
tactical.
4 minute.
Six.
The third position guy was 4:01 or
4:06.
something.
Yeah, and then my year, I think 2022 Vietnam. I think the last 200, everyone lining up and then
Yeah.
start kicking already. So
Yeah.
it's
Right, man.
quite challenging, but I think if you all prepare yourself and be ready,
Yeah.
then it'll be quite
Correct.
interesting.
Prepare for the kick lah.
I mean, if it's going to be tactical, then everyone's going to save it for the last 300.
Comes down to the
150.
kick lah.
Yeah, comes down to the kick. And
So it's all, practice and
Yeah.
training as well.
Yeah.
And
But in some sense, for Thiruben, it means that he has to appear with the CV of whatever his achievements are. So
Yeah.
people who look at him like his own competitors, will be
should
like, oh,
know.
this fella can kick.
Yeah.
Like he's got a 149, whatever this PB is, he's gonna be able to kick. So to win him, they have to either open the gap much earlier, or they will have to fight with him in the last 150, 200 meters. And I'm sure that's what you'll be also thinking with looking at your opponent's timings and whatever.
Yeah.
Not, lah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the idea is to try and prepare yourself so that no matter whether it's a fast or slow race,
Yeah.
you're still going to get a chance to win.
And you're at the pack. at the
Yeah,
very
so
beginning.
even though, I guess my strength would be my 400 meter speed.
Yeah.
But if I need to still get to 600 meter feeling so comfortable that I can use the speed.
Precisely.
So I can't just prepare for the speed aspect of it. I think I really need to, which what I've been working on is my aerobic.
Right.
To have enough in the tank for the last 200.
So let's say if you're confident of a 146, would you go out right from the start?
Front running, I mean, actually I would say I'm quite comfortable front running.
but it's a bit risky.
It is risky. I think I like it because it's like you're running in your own rhythm. I don't know whether Oli agrees with me, but I think I pointed out to him sometimes. Sometimes when I'm following, we take turns to lead training reps. I actually find it easier to run in front.
Correct.
Especially when the person's cadence doesn't really match you. So front running could be a way to do it. If I knew that I was capable of running a time much faster than everyone else, I think that would be the tactic to go.
All right, man.
But let's see what I get to.
I'm very excited
To watch this. Will this be telecast? Mr. Marketing
It
and
should be.
partnership.
Me watch.
Can you
Probably,
tell us?
I think
Me
me
watch,
watch.
right?
I think it should be on me watch.
I should be.
Yeah. But you come down to Bangkok and watch it also live. I think a lot of Singaporeans will be going up this time since it's so near. So.
You will be there to
Probably
see
watching
games.
while working. Open up the screen.
Okay. Jiva, I heard you have some questions about personal
Yeah, some of
stories
my-
and inspirations that you.
I mean, they shared quite a lot already, but I think one of the questions I want to ask is, if you weren't competing in track and field, what will you be doing?
Soccer player, badminton,
Doctor.
swimming.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, I do have something else going on right now. So I mean, in terms of my medical school, I mean, eventually I will probably, I hope to be able to pass my exams and become a doctor. So I think that will probably take most of my time. I mean, in a scenario where I weren't a runner, I honestly don't know what I would do.
Sure.
I'm not very sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that I used to do a bit of music and stuff, but I think it never gave me the same kind of like high in a sense as running. It was always kind of a bit more sian as compared to enjoyable. Yeah, to pursue the music thing. So I think I honestly don't see myself doing anything other than like running. Yeah.
Okay.
Might turn out to be mud rock under the void there.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He could have been a pianist. I don't know. What's the musical instrument you play?
So I played the piano and the violin. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't play anything.
Musically declined.
I'm good at listening to music. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Lion City player.
If I wasn't doing track and field, I think I would have been doing some other sport because I just know when I was very young, I really grew up very active. I was probably hyperactive, running around in like the garden and like following. My dad did so much sports like football, track and field, so I was always around sports, and I always had the dream that one day I'm going to go to the Olympics. I'm going to represent my country. I thought it was football, and then it became track and field. So I think if it wasn't track and field, also it probably would have found some sport that I would have. I probably would have enjoyed a lot of sports. So whatever I ended up in would have been what I was doing. I think I'd always be doing sports. Yeah, but maybe outside of sport, I do enjoy. I do my job in marketing. I enjoy marketing. Do want to be like an entrepreneur one day, like doing my own sports business. I guess that's also sports again. I'm just a sports person lah.
It's all your passion, and you're trying to link into a profession.
Yeah.
So I think it's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question again, posted to our first two interviewees, how do you balance training 8 to 10 times in a week, 11 times to 14 times? No.
Never 14 yet.
Yeah, so with work, then yours with studies. And studies, I mean, as a coach, right, I come across students who easily give up on their sports because it doesn't really matter to them. Like the first thing is acad. So in Singapore, this is our lifestyle, right? So they keep believing that it's not possible. So I think we ourselves, we know the sacrifice to be made, but I think it's best to hear from the current ones who are active. Yeah.
And also, like quite interestingly, like you are in med school as well, and year 5, so that's more of your placement years, which is.
And probably you need to explain like how tough is it, like the hours you spend in the clinics and stuff. Yeah.
Because in terms of placement, it's very demanding already. So to put yourself in a position preparing for SEA Games, how do you?
Yeah. So I think medical school is quite a challenge in itself. Generally speaking, I think hours really differ based on what posting you're in as well as which part of the posting you're in. So I mean, at the start of the posting, it's just lessons and everything. So it typically can start from like 8 a.m. up to about 6 p.m. And then postings itself would be, depending on what time for medical school, specifically at ward rounds, what time we need to report to kind of the hospital and then follow the doctors for the rounds. Sometimes it can start even at like 7:30. So as a result, I think days can start as early as 6:37, and then it goes on throughout the day, and then we probably end at about 5-ish, 6. Yeah. So I think intermittent of that is a lot of standing around, because we do sometimes need to follow the doctors around, walk with them around, and so I think by the end of the day, it does get quite tiring. Yeah. So I guess back to the question of how would I manage, how have I been managing both? I don't know. I think it comes down to firstly about discipline. I think discipline is a big thing. If you are able, if it means enough to you, you make time for it. I think that's a big thing I've realized. So I find that if I know that during the day itself, I will not have much time to do anything else, I would tell myself, okay, I'm going to go to school. Straight away, maybe I go home, pack my bag, I sleep for half an hour at max, and then straight away go for training. Once I'm done, I'm not going to dilly-dally or like do anything. I quickly finish what I need to do, and I get back home and I try to lock in maybe 1-2 hours more of studying. I think that's the way that I think it's a rhythm, making sure I have a rhythm of things and knowing, I guess being predictable about what I'm going to do in a day. I think that's been helpful. That's one thing. I think beyond that, in terms of like inspiration / motivation to do it, I guess for me the biggest thing is if it means something to you lah. If it means something to you, you always find time to do it or to prioritize it in your life. Yeah, and also maybe also being realistic. I know that given my schedule, it's a bit difficult to top the level in medical school. So I kind of give it to myself that, if there's any assessments or anything, I have to be okay with not being the best and just working within the confines of what I have and what control I have in the scenario that I'm in.
Right.
And just at the same time also not settling for less.
Right.
I think doing your best.
Correct.
And I guess always being hungry for more. Especially, I think that's more for track and then for the study sports, a bit being consistent and never forgetting why you're doing it as well.
But I don't think it's settling for less. I would say you're achieving more than the rest of them who are just in for the ACAD results. Yeah. Because, I mean, when I was in poly as well, the same thing. We were fighting for the top 2% of the cohort, you will say. So, but I didn't really bother much about that because I had running on my side. So I had this guy coming to me, Firoz, how do you do it? So he was basically just home study. Yeah. So I believe we are a little bit more.
Oh, we are superior.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, bro?
So I mean, results being one is just a ticket for you to get the job, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for mine, it's more like it's just train, study, right? So I mean, I guess it's just what, I mean, everybody has 24 hours. Is what you fill your time with. For me right now, in this season I'm in, is just training and studying. I'm sure that in the future maybe it will evolve into something else. But for now, I know that these are the two things that matter the most to me, I guess. And so that's why I need to make sure that I'm sorting out my time well and not feeling like FOMO about like the people around me being smarter than me or having more time to themselves. If I choose this for myself, I need to commit to it. And I think that's how I've been approaching it.
I think that's the main point, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. How about you, sir? Working adult.
Yeah, no. So I think what
Working it out. Let's go.
what Ollie goes through is probably like the norm for like a lot of actually not the norm. Like, it's extreme, but I mean like a lot of our Singaporean athletes deserve a lot of credit because not only most of them are not full-time athletes. They're always balancing it with studies and with school, and then being an athlete is not just about showing up at training itself. It's about like your recovery, your nutrition. So there's so much to it. And I think for me, I had very lofty goals about what I want to achieve in my career, and so I knew that going into the working world, I need to set up a life for myself that allows me to train at my full potential. So I think that's how I naturally landed in my role in Singapore Athletics. So I think I really have to give a big shout out to like Shalindran and Bastian, my sort of my bosses for the past 2-3 years, because they've allowed me a sort of a situation which allows me to be flexible, to really contribute back to the community, through my work on the social media, through trying to get sponsored for the sport. But at the same time, I'm able to plan my day around my training, to still be able to train twice a day and to make sure I get enough rest. So even still, it's not easy. Because one aspect, of course, trying to get enough sleep when your mind is also busy with thinking about things you have to do at work and everything. It's not the same as a full-time athlete training professionally full-time. So I think that probably has been a challenge as well, to balance all this and to make sure that my mind is also at rest. And even small little things that you don't really think of, like for example, let's say on a day where I have gym in the morning and a long run in the evening, if I'm in the office and sitting down, or even if I'm at home sitting down and doing work, actually that kind of, like your back my hips get tired, your back kind of feels bad by the time you get to the long run. Because you're not really just lying down and sleeping, you're actually like sitting down and working. So these are the sort of things that you just kind of have to manage. But yeah, so I just kind of set my life up in a way that allows me to focus these next 2-3 years on my track and field career. Because I think my whole life, this will be the peak kind of period where I'm at my physical, the max, right, of my physical fitness. So I want to know that I've reached my full potential. And then later on, when I move on to further my career, I can say that I did everything I could to run as fast as I could. Had all these experiences competing overseas. So yeah, I think that's my next 2-3 years. If I can come up with a situation that allows me to train full time, maybe for 1 year, I would try it next year. Because we have the Asian Games and Commonwealth Games. So Commonwealth is in Scotland, Asian Games in Japan. So probably would benefit from also training overseas for longer periods, maybe in altitude, maybe in cooler temperatures. So that's sort of my,
goals and things.
Don't worry, Thiru, if you ever quit running, you can always come and join us in tennis. We'll be waiting. I mean, you said, right, you want to do sport.
Some sport.
Some style of sport, right? Yeah.
Maybe you play one game, you don't want already.
back to the track. All right. I think we are very good on time. And we are very happy to have had you guys here sharing what you guys are going to be doing and actually leading up to SEA Games. Last question. Sorry, this is really the last question. What kind of tip would you, what would you say to the people who are competing in SEA Games this year, this time, for the first time actually? What was the advice you would give to them?
You're asking a first timer to give.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Ollie. Yeah.
I mean, he mentioned about his going in with that kind of mindset, right? So,
Correct.
yeah.
But
So-
is that what you would share with someone?
I mean, if I were to talk to myself, right?
Right.
I mean, the thing I would tell myself is, I mean, I think the goalpost shifts a lot in life. When you get things and when you improve and when you manage to reach certain heights, you just want more all the time. I think that for me, what I want to go into it with, the mindset I want to go into it with, and also I guess anybody else that's going for SEA Games for the first time, I guess would be to really remember where you came from. Remember that remember that a lot of people don't get the chance to be where you are. So don't firstly don't take it for granted, of course. And secondly, I think don't be so hard up with like how well you do, I guess, because I think that it's sometimes hard to detach from the result because results feel like they define us.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess enjoying the experience and being in a moment is a big thing for me. And I think that if I were to go into the SEA Games with that mindset of just being in a moment and enjoying what I'm doing and remembering where I came from and just having gratitude for the people around me as well as the chance to even be where I am, I think I would go a long way. I think that would be a success for me in itself.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, if I could give advice to like someone who's going for the first time, like Ollie, I think it really, these are the moments in your life that you kind of look back on. You're going to look back on 10, 20 years time and like, hey, I actually did this, I actually ran in front of a stadium of people. So I think, not letting the kind of the stress or the pressure of having to perform overshadow that experience that you're going to have. And I also say that to run with confidence, I think you shouldn't approach it with a mindset where like, okay, this is my first time, or like I'm going to be inferior to these guys who have maybe faster times or they've done it before. I think on race day, anything can happen. I really believe that I've had a lot of periods in my training where it's not going too well, but because I tell myself that on race day, it doesn't matter, I'm just a different person. I think that mindset, really helps, especially when you're going into a competition where it's maybe very foreign to be running in a kind of a higher stage. Just put it all behind, on race day, anything can happen. As long as you're on the start line with the rest of the guys, anything can happen. So I think that'd be my advice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
amazing, boys. Amazing. All the best. Hopefully, we'll be there to interview guys as you finish your races.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully,
They give you a ticket.
Yes, partnerships and everything, you know what to do. Okay. But yeah, such exciting times for the middle distance scene. Exciting for you boys as well. Wishing you all the best. And anything else you guys want to share? All good?
Actually, I do remember, I think Ollie was probably at the stands also with me. I think 2015 SEA Games, I think I sat down and watched like every day, every event. And all you guys were running in it, right? So
Yeah, actually,
So
you're
full
all
school.
running. Yeah.
So
I was dying at the back.
I'm not sure I was running, but I was doing some rolling maybe. But, yeah. I know
but-
Firoz was swimming in the steeple, but all good, all good. Yeah.
But
So continue.
So
Yeah.
just like a full circle moment, I guess, for the both of us, from being 15 years old and now 25. So exactly a decade, right? And then, so I think it's a nice moment for us. Yeah.
Thank
all
you,
of us.
boys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. We don't know what we did, but I'm sure you guys will do much better.
Yeah.
And that's how it rolls, right?
We
Yeah.
create memories, huh? We
Yeah.
remember our 20
What kind of memories? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Trackside Talks episode 3, Road to SEA Games. Catch these boys performing. When is it? December?
December, yeah.
December
In Thailand.
in Thailand.
11 to 16 December.
I see.
Yeah.
We will release, and we will definitely do more posts towards the games to talk about these boys and their achievements. So thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you all soon.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
That's what we
Thank you.
Good job.